You were woken in the deep of the night, weren't you? That subtle stirring in your soul, that sudden piercing awareness in the ocean of silence, do not mistake it for simple insomnia. Do not dismiss it as a random disturbance. It is an appointment. It is a divine invitation, a personal message delivered to your heart at an hour when the rest of the world is dreaming, but the heavens are wide awake, attentive and listening. This is not a coincidence. It is a calling. Allah, in His infinite mercy, has chosen you, specifically you out of millions, to share a secret with Him in the dark. This is the hour of unveiled realities, the time when the frantic noise of the dunya finally fades to a whisper. The anxieties you carry during the day, the weight of expectations, the relentless chase for provision, the quiet fear that your efforts are not enough, they feel louder now, don't they? The feeling that your blessings, your barakah, are somehow blocked or withheld can feel overwhelming in this stillness. You may have prayed, you may have supplicated, and felt only silence in return, leaving you to question if you are truly heard, if you are truly seen. In these moments, the heart can feel a profound sense of spiritual solitude, a disconnect even within the vastness of the ummah. And it is precisely into this space of vulnerability that Allah has called you. He has woken you because He knows. He knows the silent conversations you have with yourself. He knows the ache of a prayer that seems unanswered. He knows the exhaustion of striving in a world that often feels thankless. And He, our Rizq, the ultimate provider, the sustainer, wants to give you something far greater than sleep. He wants to give you certainty. He wants to have a conversation with you that simply cannot be had in the distracting light of day. This awakening is not a burden, it is an honor. It is a sign that you have been chosen for a moment of profound and intimate connection, a moment with the potential for life-altering transformation. Tonight, we will do more than just talk about a prayer. We will immerse ourselves in its reality. We will do more than just speak the words of a surah. We will allow its divine light, its nur, to penetrate the deepest, most wounded chambers of our hearts. The night prayer tahajjud is the distinguishing mark and the profound honor of the believer. It was the sanctuary of the prophets, the refuge of the righteous, the secret garden where the seeds of trust and certainty are watered. This is the confirmed time when divine mercy descends like a gentle rain, when forgiveness is offered without reservation, and when the du'as of a sincere heart ascend directly to the throne of the Almighty. Remember the words of our beloved Prophet Muhammad, who described this sacred window of time. He said that in the last third of the night, Allah Himself descends to the lowest heaven and asks with a majesty and mercy that is beyond our comprehension. Who is calling upon me that I may answer him? Who is asking from me that I may give him? Who is seeking my forgiveness that I may forgive him? He is not asking a crowd. He is asking you. Right now, in your room with your specific worries and your unique hopes, He is waiting for your answer. You might feel spiritually lost, adrift in a sea of obligations, disconnected from your true purpose as a devoted servant, an abidi of Allah. Perhaps your faith, your iman, feels bruised and fragile after repeated calamities or unanswered prayers. But this very awakening, this gentle pull from the comfort of your sleep, is the undeniable proof that He has not abandoned you. It is a tangible sign of His all-encompassing rahmah. It is a declaration that He desires to grant you not just what you think you want, but what your soul truly needs. He wants to bestow upon you rizq, not merely as money or possessions, but as a complete, holistic sustenance. Sustenance for your soul in the form of peace, sustenance for your mind in the form of clarity, sustenance for your body in the form of healing, and undeniable, ever-increasing blessings in your worldly provision. For this journey into the heart of His mercy, He has given us a key, a treasure map hidden in plain sight within the Holy Quran, a surah so potent, so revered for its spiritual properties, that it has come to be known as the Surah of Wealth, a divine shield against poverty and hardship. The Prophet gave us a promise concerning it, a promise that should make the heart of every believer tremble with hope. Whoever recites Surah Al-Waqi'ah every night will never be afflicted by poverty. Ponder that for a moment. A divine promise, an absolute guarantee from the heavens, delivered by the most truthful of all creation. This is not a folklore tale, it is a spiritual technology, a divine mechanism for unlocking the floodgates of heavenly abundance. Perhaps Allah wants, through this single night, to completely reframe your understanding of rizq. He wants to lovingly guide you from a state of fear, anxiety, and perceived lack to a state of unshakable trust and profound certainty, a state of pure yaqeen. This transformation begins now. It begins with a single intentional breath in this blessed silence. I invite you to join me fully. This is not a passive experience. This is a congregation of souls, united across continents and time zones, all awake in this sacred hour, turning our faces and hearts towards the one and only Lord. Let us breathe in His mercy and breathe out our worries. Let us set our intention, our niyyah, to be present with Him. Let us prepare our hearts to receive His boundless gifts. Stay with me, pray with me, recite with me, even if only your soul can form the words. This single night, this one prayer, this blessed surah, it holds within it the divine potential to alter the very flow of barakah in every aspect of your life. Don't let this divine appointment slip by. Your Lord is waiting. Let us answer His call together. To fully grasp the immense spiritual power we are about to engage with, we must first reflect on the profound wisdom, the hikmah behind the moment itself. Why this specific time? Why the deep, dark night? And why this specific chapter, Surah Al-Waqiyah? The night is a divine gift. It is a kalwa, a sacred and solitary spiritual retreat that Allah provides for us every single day free of charge. When the world finally falls asleep, the endless distractions of the dunya, the noise of social media, the pressure of deadlines, the clamor of people's opinions, the relentless pursuit of material things, all of it dissolves into silence. And in that pristine silence, for the first time in perhaps the entire day, you can finally hear the true whispers of your own soul. You can finally acknowledge the aches you've been bravely ignoring, the deep-seated fears you've been suppressing, and the profound, almost painful yearning you have for a real, tangible connection with your Lord. This is the atmosphere Allah chose for His most momentous revelations. It was in the sacred stillness of the night, in the cave of Hira, that the very first verses of the Quran began their descent upon the heart of our beloved Prophet Muhammad, changing the course of history forever. The night prayer was not just a recommendation for him, it was an obligation, the very source of his strength, his solace, and his intimate relationship with Allah. Allah commands in Surah Al-Muzammil, "O you who wraps himself, arise to pray the night except for a little." Why? He explains a few verses later, "Indeed, the hours of the night are more effective for concurrence of heart and tongue and more suitable for words." This is the secret. During the day, our tongues may say one thing while our hearts are distracted by 1,000 others. But in the deep of the night, the heart and the tongue finally align. The dua is no longer a mechanical list of requests. It transforms into a raw, honest conversation, a lament, a plea that emanates from the very core of your being. It is in this crucible of sincerity that true tawakkul is forged and perfected. Now let us turn our attention to the key for this gate, Surah Al-Waqiyah, chapter 56 of the Holy Quran. It is crucial to understand that this surah is not merely a collection of words, it is a portal to a powerful spiritual reality. Its name, Al-Waqiyah, means the inevitable event. It speaks of the day of judgment, the Akhirah, with such vivid, earth-shattering certainty that it is designed to violently shake the heart out of its slumber, out of its state of ghafla or spiritual heedlessness. But you might ask, how does a surah about the day of judgment attract worldly provision or rizq? This is where the divine genius of the Quran shines. The connection is not based on a simplistic, superstitious formula, but on a deep psychological and spiritual recalibration of the believer's entire worldview. First, the surah systematically dismantles our arrogance and the illusion of our own control. It forces us to confront the reality of Allah's absolute power and creative genius by pointing to the signs we overlook every single day. Allah directly challenges us in the surah with penetrating questions. And have you seen that seed which you sow? Is it you who makes it grow, or are we the grower? He continues, and have you seen the water that you drink? Is it you who brought it down from the clouds, or is it we who bring it down? He questions us about the fire we kindle, the very basis of our civilization. In a few powerful verses, Allah obliterates the ego's claim to self-sufficiency. He reminds us with undeniable clarity that every single component of our provision, from the air we inhale to the morsel of food we eat, is a direct, moment-by-moment creation from Him. This profound reminder dissolves the toxic and false belief that our sustenance is solely the product of our own cleverness or hard work. It shifts our reliance away from our own feeble efforts and places it squarely upon His infinite grace. This internal pivot, this act of intellectual and spiritual submission, is the very first and most critical gate to unlocking His boundless blessings. Second, the hadith transmitted by the great companion Ibn Mas'ud stating, "Whoever recites Surah Al-Waqiyah at night will never be afflicted by want," has been a cornerstone of practice for the Ummah for centuries, while some scholars of hadith have analyzed its chain of narration with scrutiny. Its practice has been widely accepted under the principle of Fada'il al-A'mal, especially given the powerful personal testimony of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud himself. It is narrated that during his final illness, the Caliph Uthman visited him and offered to restore a stipend for his daughters. Ibn Mas'ud refused, famously replying, "Do you fear poverty for my daughters? I have ordered them to recite Surah Al-Waqiyah every night, for I heard the Messenger of Allah saying, 'Whoever recites Surah Al-Waqiyah every night, poverty will never afflict him.'" This is not a casual remark. This is the unwavering conviction of one of the earliest Muslims, a man renowned for his deep knowledge of the Quran, entrusting the future of his own children to a promise from Allah linked to this surah. He was teaching them to attach their hearts to the provider, not the provision. Third, and perhaps most importantly, the surah purifies our intention, our niyyah, which is the foundation of all deeds. It vividly categorizes humanity into the three groups they will form on the Day of Judgment. The foremost in faith, as-sabiqun, who are the nearest to Allah. The people of the right hand, ashab al-yamin, who are the righteous believers. And the people of the left hand, ashab al-shimal, who are the wretched. By painting a breathtaking picture of the rewards of the righteous and the terrifying consequences for the heedless, the surah forces an urgent self-interrogation. Why do I truly want this rizq? Is my desire for wealth merely to accumulate more comforts in this fleeting dunya? Or do I seek it as a tool to please Allah, to provide for my family, to give in charity, to support the deen, and to earn a place of honor among the people of the right? This purification of intent is absolutely critical. When you ask Allah for rizq with the sincere niyyah of using it for His sake, your dua is elevated from a worldly request to an act of worship. You are no longer just asking for money. You are asking for a means to draw closer to Him. This aligns your personal desires with His divine will, and that is the secret to unlocking the promise in Surah At-Talaq. And whoever is mindful of Allah, He will make a way out for them from every difficulty and provide for them from sources they could never imagine. This then is the spiritual mechanism. Reciting Surah Al-Waqiyah at night is a profound act of faith. It is a multi-layered declaration that you believe in the hereafter, that you recognize Allah as the sole and ultimate provider, and that you are actively seeking to align your life, your goals, and your desires with His pleasure. It is a powerful form of tazkiyah, a purification of the soul that begins to dissolve the spiritual blockages, the deep-seated fears, the corrosive doubts, the lack of trust, that may be constricting the flow of barakah into your life. So as you prepare to stand and pray tonight, know with full certainty that you are not just performing a mindless ritual. You are engaging in a profound spiritual exercise. You are reminding your heart of its ultimate purpose, realigning your trust to its proper object, and speaking directly to the King who holds all the treasures of the heavens and the earth. You were woken for this very purpose. Let us now gratefully accept His divine invitation. I know precisely what the heart might be whispering at this moment. This sounds beautiful, this sounds transformative, but I am so tired. I am weak. I have tried to establish this habit before, and I have failed. The constant struggle against my own nafs and the waswasa of shaitan is relentless and exhausting. You may feel the crushing weight of your past sins. the frustrating cycle of making and breaking promises to Allah, and the paralyzing doubt that whispers, "Is it even worth the effort? Will Allah truly listen to someone like me with my history of failures?" I am here in this quiet hour to remind you of a fundamental truth of your faith. Your struggle does not go unnoticed by Allah. He sees every ounce of your effort. He witnesses the silent battle you wage against the warmth of your bed, against the depths of despair, against the insidious feeling that it's simply too late for you to change. And it is precisely within this honest, painful struggle that your sincerity shines with a light that is most beloved to Him. Therefore, with this understanding, I want to invite you on a practical, tangible, and transformative journey. A journey designed to turn this single night of renewed hope into a life-altering spiritual habit. I call it the 7-Night Rizq Prayer Challenge. The proposition is beautifully simple, yet its potential for change is profound. For the next 7 consecutive nights, starting with this one, make a sincere commitment to yourself and to your Lord. Commit to waking up in the last third of the night, even if it's just 15 or 20 minutes before the adhan for Fajr. Perform your wudu, washing away not just the traces of sleep, but also the spiritual grime of the day, preparing your body, your heart, and your soul for what is to come. Then find a quiet spot and pray at least 2 rakat of tahajjud prayer. And in that prayer, during prostration or immediately after you conclude, recite Surah Al-Waqi'ah with as much presence and reflection as you can muster. Just 7 nights. That is the initial commitment. A small step for a human being, but a giant leap in your relationship with your Creator. Understand this clearly. This is not a magic pill. This is a spiritual prescription. The primary objective here is not merely to get something from Allah. The primary objective is to build a relationship with Allah. It is to rediscover the forgotten sweetness of ibadah when the entire world is silent. It is to feel the divine peace and tranquility, the sakina, that descends like a soft blanket upon the heart that remembers its Lord in the darkness. This challenge is, at its core, an intensive course in tazkiyah, a deep spiritual cleanse designed to purify the heart and realign your life's purpose. The first 2 or 3 nights will undoubtedly be the hardest. Your body, accustomed to its rest, will protest. Your mind will flood with 1,000 logical-sounding excuses. Shaitan, your sworn enemy, will unleash his most potent whispers. You are far too tired. You have a critical meeting tomorrow. Missing 1 night won't matter. Look at your past sins. You are a hypocrite for even trying. It's been 3 nights and nothing has changed. See these thoughts for what they are. They are the friction designed to test the sincerity of your resolve. Acknowledge them, and then gently but firmly push them aside. Hold on to the words of the Prophet as a lifeline. The deeds most loved by Allah are those that are done consistently, even if they are small. This journey is not about achieving perfection. It is about demonstrating persistence. If you accidentally oversleep 1 night, do not let Shaitan convince you that all is lost. Do not give up. The moment you wake up, feel remorse, make a sincere tawbah, and resolve with even greater determination to stand up and pray the following night. Allah does not demand flawlessness from His frail servants. He adores the servant who, despite falling and stumbling, gets back up and turns to Him again and again. He loves the sinner who repents more than the righteous who becomes arrogant. He loves your consistency. What then can you realistically expect from this 7-night journey? Expect your entire relationship with the concept of rizq to fundamentally change. You will begin to see Allah's boundless provision in places you never noticed before. In the laughter of a child, in the unexpected recovery from an illness, in the food on your table, in the very air you breathe. You will start to internalize the profound truth that rizq is not just the number in your bank account, but the barakah that Allah places within that number. A small salary with barakah is infinitely greater and more satisfying than a huge income devoid of it. This practice relentlessly cultivates shukr, and Allah makes a sworn promise in the Quran, "If you are grateful, I will surely increase you." This is not just a nice sentiment, it is a divine law of cause and effect. Expect your tawakkul to grow roots that can withstand the storms of life. As you recite the verses describing Allah's absolute power over every atom of creation, day after day, your heart will begin to internalize this reality on a cellular level. The gnawing anxiety about the future, The fear of economic uncertainty will begin to recede. It will be replaced by a profound sense of peace that comes from knowing with certainty that your affairs are in the hands of Al-Wakil, the ultimate trustee, the most capable, the most merciful. You are consciously handing over your burdens to the only one who is powerful enough to carry them and wise enough to solve them. Expect your heart, your qalb, to soften and become receptive to light. The Quran is a shifa, the hardness that has formed around your heart, caused by the disappointments of the dunya, the bitterness of past hurts, and the stain of accumulated sins, will begin to melt away under the radiant nur of these sacred words. You will feel a renewed, palpable connection, a vibrant sense that Allah is not a distant, abstract deity, but is indeed closer to you than your own jugular vein. This challenge is a practical, actionable step towards reclaiming your spiritual agency. It is a direct answer to the feeling of being spiritually lost and adrift. It is a way to prove to your own soul, and more importantly to your Lord, that you are serious about change. You are taking the asbab and you are placing your ultimate trust in Musabbib al-Asbab, the causer of all causes. So the question is before you. Will you accept this challenge? Will you join this caravan of souls for the next 7 nights? It is a personal invitation to witness a tangible transformation in your life, not through wishful thinking or magic, but through the profound, time-tested spiritual tools that our beautiful faith has gifted us. The journey to overcoming your financial fears and unlocking the doors of divine provision is not about finding a new worldly strategy. It's about rediscovering an ancient, unbreakable promise in the sacred silence of the night. It starts right now. Now, wherever you may be, let us together enter a state of true khushu. If it helps you focus, gently close your eyes. Consciously release the tension you are holding in your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Take a slow, deep breath, inhaling peace and exhaling the worries of the day. And now let us turn our hearts, our minds, and our entire being completely towards Him. Ya Allah, Ya Rab, we are here. We have heard your call in the stillness of the night and we have answered. You chose to wake us from our sleep, an immense mercy and a profound honor that we know we did not deserve, but that you granted us out of your infinite, unconditional love. We stand before you now, small and humbled in the darkness, with hearts that carry silent burdens, with hopes that have begun to flicker, and with a deep, aching need that only you, our Creator, can possibly fulfill. Alhamdulillah, all praise, thanks, and gratitude are for you alone, O Lord of all the worlds, a praise that fills the heavens and the earth and everything in between. We praise you for the blessings we recognize and the countless blessings we are blind to. We thank you for the gift of this breath, this moment, this opportunity to speak to you. And we ask you, Ya Allah, to send your most perfect peace and choicest blessings upon your most beloved servant, the mercy to all the worlds, our Prophet Muhammad, and upon his noble family, his righteous companions, and all who follow his beautiful guidance with sincerity until the final day. Ya Allah, Ya Ar-Rahman, the most gracious, Ya Ar-Rahim, the most merciful, we come before you as your poor, needy, and broken servants. We openly admit our countless weaknesses, our many shortcomings, our heedlessness, and our sins. We have been forgetful, Ya Allah, we have been ungrateful. We have foolishly sought solutions and validation in the hands of your creation, while forgetting that all the treasures of the heavens and the earth belong exclusively to you. Forgive us, Ya Ghaffar, O the great forgiver. Forgive our neglect of your commands. Forgive the sins of our eyes, our ears, and our tongues. Forgive the arrogance in our hearts. Forgive every sin, known and unknown, that may be acting as a barrier, holding back our rizq and preventing our du'as from reaching you. Grant us your all-encompassing maghfirah. Ya Razak, O the ultimate provider. Ya Wahhab, O the giver of gifts. You are the one who provides for the bird that leaves its nest in the morning with an empty, trusting stomach and returns in the evening full and satisfied. You are the one who provides for the whale in the darkest depths of the ocean and the tiniest ant in its rock-solid hole. Your treasures never deplete. Your generosity knows no bounds. We stand as beggars at your door tonight, and we know your door is never closed. We are asking, Ya Allah, you know the reality of the debts that weigh us down and steal our peace. You know the crushing anxiety that keeps us awake at night, long after this prayer is over. The fear of not having enough, the stress of providing for our families, the humiliation of being in need. It feels heavy, Ya Rab. It feels like a mountain on our chests. We ask you, Ya Fattah, O the Great Opener, the one who opens all locked doors, to open for us the doors of your lawful provision from channels and sources we could never possibly imagine or calculate. Grant us rizq halal tayyib. Protect us and our families from even a single morsel of haram, and purify our hearts from the desire for it. And make us, Ya Allah, completely content and satisfied with whatever you have decreed for us. Ya Rabb, it is not just sheer abundance we seek, for abundance without blessing is a trial. We beg you for barakah. Place your divine blessing in the little that we have, so that it suffices us, nourishes our bodies, purifies our souls, and becomes a means for us to draw ever closer to you. Protect us from the trial of wealth that makes us arrogant, heedless, and forgetful of our duty to you. Ya Shafi, O the ultimate healer, heal our hearts. Heal our hearts from the spiritual diseases of envy and jealousy when we see the blessings you have given to others. Heal us from the constant pain of comparing our lives, our possessions, and our destinies to those around us. Heal our minds and bodies from the physical toll that anxiety, stress, and financial hardship have taken upon us. Grant us the ultimate, most precious form of rizq, the rizq of a content and tranquil heart. A heart that finds its true richness not in what it possesses, but in its unshakable connection to you. Ya Hadi, O the ultimate guide, guide our steps. If we are in the wrong job, guide us to one that is better for our dunya and our deen. If we have become lazy or complacent, grant us the strength and motivation to strive. If our character is flawed, if we are miserly or ungrateful, guide us to what is better. Show us the path, illuminate our way with your divine nur, your heavenly light, so that we can clearly see the opportunities for good that you place before us each day. Ya Sabur, O the most patient, grant us Sabr Jamil as we await your divine response. Give us the patience of a true believer, a patience that is free from panic, complaint, and despair. Strengthen our tawakkul, so that even in the midst of the most difficult trials, our hearts remain firm and serene, anchored in the certainty that you are Al-Hakim, the All-Wise, and that you have a beautiful and perfect plan for us. Ya Rabb, with humility and hope, we raise our empty hands and our expectant hearts to you. Forgive us, guide us, provide for us, heal us, grant us peace, grant us your sakina. If you felt a genuine connection in your heart during this shared moment of vulnerability, if you felt even a tiny glimmer of hope pierce through the darkness, I warmly invite you to comment below with a heartfelt Ameen. Let the angels who witness this gathering bear witness to your supplication. And if you feel comfortable doing so, share with this community of hopeful souls. What is the one dua for rizq that is most pressing on your heart today? Is it for a specific job, for healing from a sickness, for peace of mind amidst chaos, for a loved one who is struggling? Write it down. Let this digital congregation say Ameen for your need as well. There is a powerful, undeniable blessing in collective prayer. And if you have not yet joined our community, please consider clicking that subscribe button. See it not as a simple click, but as a statement of intent. An intention to continue this journey of remembrance, to seek beneficial knowledge, and to be part of a community that consistently reminds one another of Allah. The act itself is free, but inshallah, the impact on your soul and the reward for it can be eternal. Look outside your window. The deepest black of the night is beginning to soften. The first faint threads of dawn are appearing on the horizon. A new day, a clean slate, is about to be born by the command of Allah. You awoken tonight. Do you remember the feeling when we started? The idea that it wasn't a random disturbance but a divine invitation, an appointment with your Lord. And you, with His grace, have kept that appointment. You performed your ablution. You stood in prayer. You recited His words. You poured your heart out in dua. You took the first, most crucial step on a sacred and transformative journey. Allah wanted to hear from you directly. He wanted you to turn to Him with all your needs before you turned to anyone else in His creation. He wanted to re-establish and strengthen that direct line of communication, that intimate sila that is your sacred birthright as a believer who says, La ilaha illa Allah. The promise attached to Surah Al-Waqi'ah is real. The promise attached to the prayer in the depths of the night is real. But it is essential to understand that this is not a mechanical transaction. It is a spiritual transformation. You are not just reciting a surah to mechanically prevent poverty. You are reciting it to build an unshakable fortress of yaqeen in the core of your heart. A certainty so deep and so profound that the fiercest storms of the dunya, a job loss, a market crash, an unexpected expense, can no longer shake your inner peace. A certainty that Allah is Ar-Razaq, and that His provision is not limited by economic forecasts, by your resume, by your connections, or by the pessimistic opinions of others. Your journey does not conclude here with the rising of the sun. In many ways, it has only just begun. The true challenge, the mark of real change, is to carry the spirit of this night prayer with you into the light of the day. Carry the sakina you felt in the silence into the noise of your workplace and the dynamics of your family life. Carry the tawakkul you built while on your prayer mat into every decision you make, every interaction you have, and every challenge you face. Keep the three groups from Surah Al-Waqi'ah at the forefront of your mind. Let it be a constant compass for your ultimate goal. Every time you earn, every time you spend, every time you make a choice, ask yourself, is this action drawing me closer to the people of the right hand? Perhaps this single prayer, this one night of sincere, tearful devotion, is the very turning point you have been praying for. Perhaps this will be the moment you look back on, years from now, and say with a grateful heart, that is when everything truly changed. Not because a bag of gold miraculously appeared at your doorstep, but because the source of your security and your peace permanently shifted from the unpredictable creation to the ever-present Creator. That is true wealth. That is true falah. Do not let this feeling fade. Do not let this become a one-time event. Commit to the journey. The path of those who call upon Allah in the sacred seclusion of the night is a blessed and honored path. It is a path of consistency, of unwavering faith, and of profound liberating trust. It is the path of those who understand that the greatest provision of all is the ability to place your forehead on the ground in prostration before the provider. If this reminder resonated with you, if it brought a spark of nur into the chambers of your heart, please express your gratitude to Allah by liking this video so that others who are searching may find it. Share it with a friend or a family member who you know is struggling in silence. You never know whose life you might touch, whose hope you might revive. It could be the most valuable form of sadaqah you give today. And please comment below and let me know what theme, what dua, what surah you would like us to reflect upon in our next prayer session together. Your input is valuable and helps us serve you better. And finally, if you have not already, click subscribe and the notification bell. Come back tomorrow night and the night after that. Let us make this our sacred nightly appointment. Allah will be waiting for you, and so will we. Inshallah.